Hello everybody, my name is Ethan. Welcome back to the GO Battle League, where today we're going to be hopping back into the Willpower Cup featuring a very fun and very winning team of Alolan Raichu, Drapion, and Skuntank here. I love these Pokemon together. Now, one obvious, very obvious weakness is going to be the ground type. All three of these Pokemon hard lose to ground type Pokemon. They have a hard time even hitting it for neutral damage. So let's explain how I ended up going 21-4 with this team, despite the fact that I am really weak to ground types. So who are the viable ground types in this meta? Well, the first one, and pretty much the only one, is going to be Claydol. Claydol is really good at being a ground type against this team, right? So when I ever ran into a Claydol, I lost. That was pretty much it. But the thing is, not a lot of people have Claydol. Claydol is not a Pokemon that people rush to go and build just because it's not necessarily the best mon. Now, let's think about one other Pokemon that does end up being sometimes a little bit hard, and that's going to be Toxicroak. Now, the reason that Toxicroak is so hard is going to be its access to Mud Bomb, obviously doing super effective damage again to all of our team, but we resist the counters as well as the poison types moves from Toxicroak. So we do have some sort of play, and we do hit it for neutral, especially against with the Alolan Raichu here. Will we survive a body slam? Just barely, and we're going to be able to poison Sting down. It's going to be really close, but we're going to get to the Aqua Tail here, and that is going to be a good game. Hopping into the next battle against Ripped Scion, I guess that is. Here is the matchup we were not wanting, right? They're going to end up switching out, and we have a great answer to Rapidash in the back. Obviously, this is Galarian Rapidash. Being the poison psychic type is definitely very interesting, but poison jabs are just going to be able to decimate this thing, and then we're going to be able to go for a flamethrower here. Flamethrower will be doing heavy neutral damage against the Toxicroak, because Toxicroak isn't necessarily the tankiest mon in all of Great League. So we're going to end up hitting it with a crunch that does almost 40% damage. Now, a resisted crunch, guys, a resisted crunch doing 40% damage. Skuntank is going to definitely have to be the MVP of this team. Having access to Poison Jab, Crunch, Flamethrower, the moveset just goes very well together. They're going to bring in a Shadow Tyranitar here, guys. We're going to throw our first Thunder Punch and then swap into Drapion and go immediately for the Aqua Tail. These Smackdowns and Stone Edge are going to do so much damage. That Aqua Tail, a non-stab Aqua Tail. Now, this is a Shadow Drapion. Again, I keep forgetting to put the dang Shadow tag on these things on this, like oh my god, I'm blanking, guys. I am blanking. The template here, gosh, it is a Shadow Drapion, right? So just let that be known. I don't have a regular Drapion made. I thought it was going to be cooler to make the Shadow Drapion. It's really up to you guys what you want. It's obviously a lot less tanky, but it does a lot more damage. So that's the trade-off you get with Shadow Pokemon. Hopping into this match, though, we have an interesting lead. They swap into Drapion. We swap into Skuntank. They, of course, get the defense drop, but we're going to be able to go for this Flamethrower here. That's going to hit for neutral damage, and it absolutely nukes the Drapion there. They're going to swap back in the Mandibuzz here, and we have a good matchup. You will end up seeing a ton of Mandibuzz in this cup. This is probably the only other video I'm going to make for the Willpower Cup. It's a little bit repetitive, honestly. I did, during the Go Battle Day, this is when I did all of my battles that you're seeing right now, which was the 6th. This video's uploaded a couple of days after. But yeah, a lot of Mandibuzz. This cup, a little repetitive. You will see a ton of Mandibuzz in it. But I was able to have some good success with this team. So not too shabby. We're going to be throwing the crunch here, and it does just a little bit more than the Aqua Tail just because it is stab, even though it's not resisted, right? We're going to throw the first Thunder Punch here. More times than not, people will end up shielding the first Thunder Punch because they do believe it'll be a wild charge. Now, the reason that I like Thunder Punch here is because you're able to get to it 3-2, 3-2. So 3 volt switches, then 2 volt switches, then 3, instead of wild charge, which is 3, 3, 3, 3, 3 as well. Wild charge is really high risk, high reward. You're going to be taking way more damage if you get that defense drop from wild charge. Hopping in the next game here, we're going to be going against an Umbreon. Now, Umbreon lead is definitely really tough, but we're going to swap into the Shadow Drapion here. And the reason why I did this is because we have access to Aqua Tail, and we're going to be able to spam out this Umbreon here, right? So I just built up to almost 3 Aqua Tails. They got 1 last resort off, but now I'm going to absolutely be able to just spam out these Aqua Tails. And this is all right. I mean, it is a non-resisted, or it is a non-stab move, but it is starting to add up, even though it is not the most damaging move, guys. I will say it's not the most damaging move. We're going to be able to go for a Crunch here. Now, again, here's the same reasoning. Crunch is going to do a little bit more damage and has the defense drop potential, right? So that's that. We're going to lose our entire Drapion to this Umbreon, right? But it's okay. And the reason that it's okay is we're going to be able to farm down just a little bit with the Skunk Tank. And they're going to swap in a Toxicroak, guys. Toxicroak, again, obviously, now we've seen a hard counter on the front, hard counter in the back. And we're going to end up getting a Drapion in the far back, right? So this guy's team is Umbreon, Drapion, and Toxicroak. Definitely a very tough team for me to try and go against here. And we're going to be throwing the first Thunder Punch against this Drapion. Drapion is going to end up shielding it, and they overfarm just a little bit and allow us to get to the next Thunder Punch, which does a ton of damage. And we're going to end up having to shield this Crunch. It would one-shot me if I allowed it to go through. Now, here is a huge mistake, guys. Why didn't I just throw the Thunder Punch? I also should have known that he was going to be immediately going for the Mud Bomb against my full HP Alolan Raichu. That's one of the examples of the games that you do lose. Again, this team will lose to ground types. There's nothing that you can get around about it. You can obviously throw off the Grass Knot if you can. The Aqua Tail also does super effective to ground types, but at the same time, you will lose to ground types. It's just the nature of this team, right? So I'm not saying this team is undefeated or can't lose, right? Because it definitely can, and ground types is definitely what it is weak to. They're going to be throwing the Ice Punch here, and I'm going to be able to get to another Thunder Punch. Now we are either going to get Switch Advantage, or we are going to be getting Shield Advantage. I'm just not able to get off that one, so that's pretty upsetting. But we're able to go into the Skunk Tank here, and whether they have Foul Play, Psychic, Last Resort obviously does some good neutral damage, and that's why I do recommend running Last Resort, because you are able to hit dark types for neutral, as well as pretty much everything else. Now they're going to swap in Mandibuzz here, and Mandibuzz is going to be hit with a Flamethrower here. And that's going to do a nice chunk, and this is just exactly why I love this Pokemon. It is able to chunk very, very well, and then Drapion's able to come in and throw these very spammy moves. So instead of shielding the big move, the Flamethrower, they're going to end up having to shield one of these little baby Aqua Tails, right? Now I'm kind of thinking which move is going to do the most damage left in the game. Is it going to be the Aerial Ace, or is it going to be the Last Resort? It's probably Last Resort, but I don't think the Umbreon is close to the Last Resort yet. It will now get to one. But either way, it's not going to be able to take out. Last Resort here is going to come through. It's going to do a ton of damage, but they're going to have to get to another move here. We are going to throw the Aqua Tail, and I tried to catch on the Skunk Tank. It didn't work, but we CMP tie anyways, so I was just flexing on them a little bit. The Aqua Tail takes out, and we win that game. Now, that's going to be all the battles I do have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, comment down below which battle was your favorite, 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.